I knew you'd be back. You're here for your next re-up, aren't you? This is episode 2 of the Downtime re-up, and you know what we're gonna start off with, baby.
Yes, sir.
You know exactly what we're gonna start off with. The Texas Rangers have won the World Series. There's no more words I gotta say.
For the first time in franchise history.
First time.
What a fucking accomplishment.
Like we said,
That's our
5 to
one
6 games.
that's our one explicit word for the episode. Because this is a clean episode.
Last time, guys.
But yeah, man, that's crazy. The Rangers have been here longer than all of our dads, all of our moms, and they had never won a World Series. And I mean, I could just see the jubilation of my dad whenever they won the World Series. He was like, I don't know what to fucking do now, bro. This has never happened before in my
You should
You should
lifetime.
have seen the streets
Game's
of
over.
downtown Dallas when we won. You could have heard it
Yes,
across
bro.
the block. Oh my god.
It was insane, and against all odds, man. Obviously as a Texas Rangers fan, I predicted the Rangers to get to the World Series because what else am I supposed to do, But no professional broadcasters, analysts, everybody counted us out. Most people counted us out from even making the playoffs at the beginning of the season, which was crazy.
I had to go into the playoffs, at least first or second round, but I wasn't for sure yet that our team wasn't fully ready, especially with DeGrom out to
Right,
go to the World Series. But
right.
especially with all the trades and everybody we got during the season, kind of made it so much easier.
Of course, you can be realistic, but if you're a really big fan of the team, you're gonna assume they're gonna win it all. So obviously, we all thought we were gonna win it all at first. We were a little realistic at first, but like, come on,
Right.
we all knew.
And even for me, like going in towards the end of the season, I was like, I feel like this team can get to the World Series. I feel like they can do it, but I don't know if they can get the job done. And that was at the time thinking about them. My World Series prediction was Rangers versus Phillies, and I thought the Phillies were just going to be too much for us. We ended up not playing the Phillies. Maybe that played into our favor a little
I
bit.
would love to have gone against the
Phillies would have been a crazy matchup, and Evaldi wasn't very sharp game one. Montgomery was a little bit tired from coming out of the bullpen at the end of the last series, so it definitely affected our start. But I mean, we had the Diamondbacks, a way easier challenge in my opinion.
The
So
only threat was just their speed. Pretty
right,
much
their
it.
speed. Speaking of, I
Good team.
hated how they played. Their bunting style annoyed the shit out of me, and it was just like a lot of the times there's nothing you can do. A sacrifice bunt, no out. Somebody's on second with one out immediately, and with their type of speed, a hit into the outfield scores that second baseman, a guy on second base every time, every time.
If it's deep enough, even the first whole inside home run, you don't even know.
Right. Yeah, and man, it was really scary there, especially for the first two games. The first game, Corey Seager coming up clutch, Adolis Garcia coming up clutch, getting us that game one was super necessary because if not, you're looking at a 2-0 series going into Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and we're a great road team, but if you can't win a home game, you're not going to win the series if you have the home advantage. It was 4 at home, 3 away. If we came back and we still couldn't win at home, we would have lost the World Series.
But man, this streak we had on the road, we set a record, right? With 11.
Yeah, 11-0 in the road.
It was
It's
beautiful to
crazy.
see. I tell you what. Every time I would get in my car, turn on the radio, win, 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 win.
But it is mildly concerning. I think the Rangers were 2-4 at home during the playoffs. Not a great look. But obviously this postseason it doesn't matter. For next postseasons, we're expected to probably win the division next season, which would mean we're gonna have home playoff advantage for most of the playoffs.
Mhm.
So we definitely need to turn that around for next season. But that's what he's talking about next season. Let's go through what happened all of this season.
Yeah, we're gonna start off the episode recapping the regular season. What would our prediction? What our outlook was in the beginning of the season, and of course coming back all the way to the culmination of the World Series win.
So to recap the season in a whole, at the beginning of the season, how were we feeling from a realistic standpoint? Obviously, we all thought we were gonna go to the World Series, but realistically, how were we feeling?
The start first 15 games, we're going crazy. First 15, 20
Oh, yeah.
games,
Yeah.
we were going crazy. Everybody was posting about us on Instagram, Twitter, now called X, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We had an amazing start, but that midway through the point, DeGrom injured,
Mm-hmm.
Seager getting injured right after that as well.
Right.
I started getting shaky about what was going to happen towards it later on in the season, especially the postseason. I was like, man, especially with DeGrom. What was it called?
Hmm.
What was his Tommy?
Yeah. To get Tommy John
Tommy
surgery.
John.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
especially scared of that. If he's even gonna play next year, he's not gonna be playing to maybe hope mid-August. They said
Is that
of
so?
next year.
Yeah, he's gonna be out. Well, he might. You never know. These people are insane athletes, insane trainers. They can get back pretty fast. But realistically, he might miss a few weeks, maybe a month or two of the beginning of the season for next season. But based off of what we saw this season, I think we'll manage. But yeah, man, it was crazy. DeGrom going down. I remember exactly where I was whenever DeGrom went down. And if y'all see a shadow, that is Max. Say hi to Max if y'all want to.
She doesn't like it.
So yeah, I mean, DeGrom went down, and I know exactly where I was when DeGrom went down. I was in the middle of HEB. I was shopping, and I
Fell down to his
I
knees
fell
and
down
that
to my
frozen
knees in the
opposite.
middle of HEB, and I posted on I posted on X too. I literally posted, I just fell to my knees in the middle of HEB. DeGrom was gone. And it was a crushing moment. And at the time, I didn't know how good really Evaldi was gonna be, how good Heaney was gonna be
Big
for
game.
that first half of the season. I didn't know if John Gray or Martin was gonna come through. And to be fair, some of those guys did fall off. Heaney ended up out of the starting rotation. John Gray ended up falling out. Martin Perez fell out really early.
Martin Perez really disappointed us this
Yeah,
year.
very disappointing.
From all-star to absolute.
Yeah,
not-
to terrible. And
terrible. Pretty much.
he
Yeah, I was trying to
he didn't even come out of the bullpen much. He came out of the bullpen
once
once
in the postseason.
once in
time.
the postseason. That's insane. But I was actually there when Heaney had the I think most strikeouts straight for a Rangers player ever. I think it was. I believe it was at Globe Life, and Heaney had the most strikeouts in a row ever. I think he struck out. I don't know. Xavier, look it up. But he struck out like
Look that up, Joey.
4 innings of people in a row or something like that. I don't know. It was crazy. And I was at the game. Yeah, the Heen dog.
History.
And he was really showing up when they pulled him out of the starting rotation. Whenever we got Montgomery and Scherzer, I was a little bit iffy about it, but I think in the end it was the right decision. But yeah, going back to Seager getting hurt, after DeGrom getting hurt, Ezekiel Duran showed up big time. I think Ezekiel Duran was hitting 300 there for a while. So was Tavares. It was crazy, man. Everybody was showing up whenever Seager went down.
Yeah. But no, this is.
You found it?
Yeah, he broke it. Heaney broke the overall club record for successive strikeouts with his 9th in a row to open the 4th by fanning Salvador Perez.
Yeah, so against the Royals, 9 strikeouts in a row, man.
That's insane.
Crazy. I was there for it too. I witnessed history at Globe Life.
Joe Barlow had the previous Texas record in 2021.
Joe Barlow's crazy. Joe Barlow is a terrible pitcher. The fact that he had that before is crazy.
Everybody has their games.
That's true. Everybody has their games. I mean, what was that dude for the Yankees who pitched the shutout or something like that?
He disappeared.
And then he disappeared, bro.
Never heard of him ever
Terrible. Terrible.
We don't know his name now.
I think it was
again.
I know he like beat his girlfriend or something like that too. Yes, he was like an alcoholic. He beat his girlfriend and stuff. Yeah, Xavier, look it up, Xavier.
Yeah,
a little bit
I
more
know
research
what-
going on right
I
now.
know.
You just look up Yankees shutout or something like that, or
Yankee
perfect game.
Bees,
It was like a shutout or a perfect game or something like that.
Perfect game.
How long ago was this? Do you remember?
It was like 3/4 through the season or something like that.
So, I don't even know what's taken.
2023, right?
Yeah.
Domingo
Hermans.
Domingo
Domingo
Germán.
Hermans. He's
Yeah.
Dominican.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he like beat his girlfriend or something like that. Look up Domingo Germán domestic abuse.
Yeah, let's pull that up.
Yep. Gonna search it right
The
now.
fans want to hear drama. We'll give it to him.
Okay, he's copy and pasting them. Man.
Nah,
Smart move.
This guy is not tech savvy.
No. I forgot how to.
What else am I knocking?
But yeah, I mean that was crazy. And man, shout out to Dane Dunning, man. Dane Dunning showed up real big time whenever DeGrom went down. I mean, he was like our second best pitcher. He was our second best pitcher at the time. Whenever he went down,
Yeah.
he did right.
Domestic violence suspension.
When was it? I swear to God, it was like
Oh,
this
2019
year.
incident.
Oh, it was 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thought he could erase what happened with that perfect game. That's probably what he did it for.
Bro, and then was it Wander Franco with the 15-year-old, right?
What?
Yes, Wander.
yeah, I think
yeah.
so.
What?
I
Yeah.
think Wander Franco with like a 15-year-old and shit. It's crazy, bro. What's wild stuff happened in the MLB this year, bro? It was a real crazy season,
Can't wait
and
for the next one. I'll tell you what.
yeah, I wonder if Wander Franco's gonna be back. No, he's
No,
probably got a
not.
case forever now,
Yeah,
bro.
He's done.
He,
He's gonna be in the Chinese league, bro.
yeah, and so moving on from that, the next big thing was we had the most ever starters in a All-Star game ever.
How many?
I think it was
No,
6.
Golden Glove things were 5.
I think it was 6 starters in
So it
the
was
All-Star.
Garcia.
Uh,
He,
Garcia, Seager,
it was
Heim,
Young.
Young, Semyon,
and what's it?
and Evaldi.
Valdi? Yeah, Valdi.
And
Yeah.
Evaldi. Man, what a time to be a Rangers fan at that very moment. Everything was going perfect.
No, yeah.
And at that point, you were like, the Rangers
Almost
were
perfect.
leading the division. You were like, the Rangers are gonna win the division for the first time in 1,000 years. They're gonna get to the playoffs, and then boom, bro. Like
The last-
4 of our 6 All-Star starters got hurt. 4 of our 6, dude. Seager went down again. Garcia went down. Heim hurt his wrist. Evaldi got hurt. Man, it was big blow. And
That's
then
when we started losing.
we started losing. We went on that lose streak, and then all the talk was, are the Rangers gonna do it again?
Are we even
you
gonna
know?
make the playoffs?
Is this just the story of the Rangers now? It's looking
Just
good,
cursed. Is that what it
and
is?
yeah, basically, are the Rangers cursed? Are they ever gonna make the playoffs again? And shout out to the guys, man. They came back from injury, they turned it around, and we were back on top of the division again, and everything looked right in the world.
Especially Corey. And if he never got hurt, I feel like he would have beat Shohei. Maybe. Maybe
Very
an
possible.
MVP.
Very
I like
possible.
that, though. I like that.
Really hard to beat a guy with a 10 WAR though.
Yeah. That's just a maybe.
It's when Shohei was pitching the way he was and hitting the way he was, it would have been real tight. Seager would have had to continue to go beast mode, and even at that, I mean, a guy pitching and hitting as well as Otani, it's basically
Had to try his
impossible.
hand in pitching. Actually.
Right? Yeah, he would have had to like turn into our closer or something at the time.
Because even with Seager missing, he still had 33 home runs.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And I think he ended up being Shohei in home runs, even though Shohei for a while there was on track to beat Aaron Judge's home run record.
At the start of the season.
Yeah, and then Shohei got hurt.
But he hit like 3 games in a row? 4
Yeah,
games in
he
a row?
was just every game like
He
Seager in the
hit- he
playoffs,
hit home
bro.
runs, you remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
he said a bomb.
Shohei hit a bomb
I
when we
was a
were
man
there,
on a
dude.
mission.
It was like second deck left side or something like that. It was like
It went, we were there. It went right over us.
450. It was crazy. But yeah, everything looked right. We were back on top of the division. We had gotten through our losing slump, and then the last day happened. We lost the division on the last day, and we had to hear it all from the Astros again.
Yeah, that's very annoying, especially with that one fan you were talking to.
Oh, I
on
was just
Twitter.
about to mention that. We got into a couple X arguments over your Twitter fingers, arguing with Astros fans before the postseason started.
Man.
Oh, that snack.
It was heated.
Yeah, they were telling me like, go ahead and put up your banner for tying the Astros in the regular season, and where are your World Series
The
banners?
craziest part is that they still talk crap to this day right
Yeah,
now.
they're still talking crap now about the stupidest thing, anything that they can bring up, dude.
Absurd.
Like right now, the biggest thing that the Astro fans are talking
Yeah,
about is that it
Garcia.
was about Garcia and about it being the lowest watched World Series ever.
Yeah.
The World Series views have been declining for the last decade, dude.
That's
Like-
why they introduced the pitch shot clock. Right?
To make the game shorter and
Yeah,
everything.
the pitch clock, and to be fair, a lot of people were against the pitch clock at first,
I think it's a
but
good addition. To
it
the-
ended up being a good addition. Attendance went up everywhere, other than like 3 places.
Oakland,
Yeah,
That's a
like
given,
like
though.
Oakland, but I mean Oakland's moving to Vegas, so
They might get some people then. Yeah.
um, Yeah, I feel bad for Oakland. Speaking of Oakland, man, they first lose the Raiders to Vegas. Now they're losing
what
the.
teams they have there now.
Now they're losing the
Is it
Athletics
not?
to
Is
Vegas.
it not technically the Raiders? I mean the Raiders.
What?
The Warriors. Is it not technically the Warriors? They rep San Francisco, but they play in Oakland with them. Something.
Yeah, I think the Warriors is like
Don't
their
count,
only
don't
team.
count.
They don't count. All
Don't
right.
count.
But I
Not the
mean,
Warriors.
They don't count.
yeah, I mean, I feel like all of California, unless you're like a Sacramento fan, you're going for the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the Lakers.
Lakers, the Clippers,
All right, damn man, they got a whole bunch of teams out
Yeah,
there.
they got
Yeah.
too much teams. I'll tell you what.
But I mean, we have
Inter
we
Miami.
have the Spurs and the Rockets and the Mavs, which Texas, I guess, actually just the Spurs were dominating basketball for a bit there. We did throw in our championship though here in Dallas.
Mhm.
But yeah, going back to that, losing it at the very end of the season there. How are y'all feeling going into the playoffs? What were y'all thoughts on what
I
we're
heard
gonna
of it.
do?
I wanted to win the division for sure. I think that was everybody's goals. At
Yeah.
least. It hurt.
For sure,
Small
But-
goals at first.
for sure.
I
And
think it kind of gave us a better way to go win everything pretty much.
yeah, and just to put it in the Astros' face for once,
Oh, yeah.
all this time we're the little brother to the Astros, and like it makes you angry, dude. Like they just look down upon us all because of their baseball team's good and our baseball team's bad. But what else does Houston have, dude?
Not
know,
the Texans.
The Texans
Or the
suck.
Rockets.
The Rockets suck. They don't have a hockey team. Like they got
All their
nothing else
teams are
going on
incredibly
there.
Houston
Dude.
controversial.
Dynamo is
It's
terrible
crazy.
as well.
Yes, dude.
Houston Dynamo is
Who
not a good
Houston
team.
Dynamo?
Oh, the MLS team.
Don't they have Hector Hernandez?
Hector
Terrible.
Herrera. Hector Herrera.
Terrible.
Herrera?
Hector Herrera.
Oh man,
Terrible
Wow.
The
team.
Mexican phenom.
He's gonna be 50 still playing.
You know what? To be fair, the Dynamo did win a trophy against Inter Miami this year, though. So
Terrible. I don't care.
that was a fluke.
it was a fluke, though.
No Messi. I think Messi did play.
They did.
No.
He did.
No. Okay.
Did he not?
Because if he did, they would have won. I watched it. He was in the stands wearing a black hoodie or something.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly why Houston won. They always got to cheat somehow. They must have taken out.
Always, their
Messi's
teams are
knees.
always involved in controversy. The Texans, they have Deshaun Watson.
The massage
The
man.
Rockets, they have Salah. What's their coach's name for the Rockets?
Oh, I
Ime
don't know.
Udoka.
Oh yeah, wasn't he like touching a
sex
staff member?
scandal? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Astros, the trash cans,
The trash cans, which is confirmed.
Yeah.
and then the Dynamo. They have that ugly Hector guy on the team.
Ew.
Yeah, and then not speaking of what's his name? Jalen Green?
Shouldn't
Was
have
that his name?
Something happened.
For the
So what
Rockets?
happened?
Oh, Jalen Green. He was humping his teammate. Yeah, I saw that.
not that. Maybe it was another guy in the Rockets, but it was
Where was that?
wasn't he like hitting his girlfriend or something like that
No, there,
too?
there was someone.
Kevin Porter Jr.
Kevin Porter Jr.
Well,
He-
he also humped his teammate Jalen Green. I
Okay.
remember this.
Oh,
But yeah, so
Interesting.
Kevin Porter
I never heard about
Jr.
that. Say that.
supposedly was hitting his girlfriend, but I think that ended up becoming false. And all these things are just accusations. We stand by none of the factuality of any of these
Yeah,
things.
we're
It's
not the
just
court
things we heard.
system. We're gonna let them figure that out. We're just here to talk.
Yeah, we're really going off track of the Rangers.
So, yeah.
Right. No, but I mean, we're a sports podcast. We gotta
True.
talk about everything
Sure,
that's
lots
going
of
on in
things.
sports, especially a lot of that MLB stuff. Because end of the MLB season, man. We're not gonna be talking about the Rangers here for a while.
Till March.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably talking about a little bit of off-season stuff here and there.
Especially if we make a crazy. No, I don't think we'll make a crazy signing this year, but some.
Yeah,
Who's
probably
Support.
the
Yeah.
player that retired? Somebody retired.
Nelson Cruz.
No, sorry.
of Nelson Cruz,
Yeah.
the notorious 2011 World Series dropped in the right field. I know a lot of y'all remember that, and I know especially you old folks.
You olden folks.
You olden
That's a good
folks. I know y'all vividly remember that, because I mean even I vividly remember that,
I-
dude. It
I'm shaky.
even back then for me it hurt, and because I was a huge Nelson Cruz fan at the time. Nelson Cruz, Josh Hamilton, those were my guys, bro. Josh Hamilton left us to LA, and then Nelson Cruz did that to me, broke my little heart. But yeah, so then we go into the playoffs. Rays sweep.
Absolutely
Evaldi
demolished
and
them.
Montgomery look like the best pitchers in baseball. Orioles sweep.
And they kept doing that throughout the whole postseason. Evaldi and Montgomery.
Evaldi and Montgomery were great.
I swear,
And
all I heard in the media outlets were just props to the Orioles about how young their team is. They never really gave us our flowers.
I know.
They never really
no,
gave us our
and I
flowers.
swear, the whole postseason, it was always never giving us our flowers about anything. It was always talking about the other team. You know, with the Diamondbacks, they weren't even supposed to be here yet, this and that. We weren't supposed to be there yet either. This was supposed to be like a year going towards getting to the World Series.
We both at the start of the year had terrible odds to even make World
Right.
Series. Even
Yeah.
the playoffs.
The Diamondbacks had like a 0.5% to make the World Series, and the Rangers had like a 2% to make the World Series. And it's like, I mean, yes, the Diamondbacks didn't have what looked to be a World Series team at the beginning of the year.
Amazing Cinderella run, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, a great Cinderella one, but I mean, we didn't either. Yes, we blew money on players, but I mean, let's talk about some of our players for a second here. Tavares, an international free agent. Adolis Garcia, he got DFA'd twice, once by the Cardinals, so once by us. Our left field, Evan Carter, he was playing double A 3/4 of the season. We called him up in September.
And he was a big.
Huge. I mean, you don't know if we win some of these games without Evan Carter in left field.
He led the Rangers in doubles through the postseason.
Yes, and his outfield play was crazy.
Especially against Astros.
You could not hit it to his side. If that ball hung at all, Evan Carter was gonna catch it. I mean, the dude is crazy.
Yeah, Garcia and Carter clearly knew what they were doing against the Astros. They knew what they wanted.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Garcia with a rocket in right, and Evan Carter with the speed in left, and still a pretty good arm. I mean, then you gotta hit it to Tavares in center, who's
He's
lightning fast. Like, that's a dangerous outfield. And not to speak that we still have Wyatt Langford coming up through the system, our first round pick from this year. I mean, oh my
When
man,
do you
that outfield's gonna be
expect him to-
crazy.
Sorry to play in the first team.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's a September call up next year, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I feel like he's been going. He went through rookie A ball, single A, double A. I mean,
He's going through the works.
He's going through it all so fast. I mean, he's only been in the minor leagues half a season,
Yeah.
and he's doing all that, man. It's insane. What a draft pick by the Rangers, and another fantastic draft pick by the Rangers, Josh Young, man, all-star in his rookie season. He was hitting spectacular. He got snubbed of a Golden Glove for sure on third base, and that was probably because he was hurt for a little bit. But there's other guys that were hurt for a little bit too, that that were finalists for the third base Golden Glove. And I just think Josh Young's the best defensive third baseman in baseball.
No, yeah, for sure.
Especially that Nolan Arenado took a step back. I think Josh Young's definitely now the best defensive third baseman in baseball. Then obviously Corey Seager. We bought Corey Seager. We bought Marcus Semien. Nathaniel.
Those were our ground up players.
Yeah, right. Those were our big money purchases a few years ago. And
We got
speaking
Lowe
of,
as well.
yeah, Lowe.
2
I think
years
Lowe was a trade
Yeah.
from the Rays. I think. Don't quote me on that. I think he played for the Rays. And then catcher was also a trade from the Athletics. Jonah Heim, Mitch Garver, free agent acquisition. Grossman, a free agent. Jankowski, which Jankowski came up huge
came up
when Garcia went down. Huge. Even during the regular season when Garcia went down.
He had the most stolen bases for us the whole season.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. He didn't even
He didn't
play
that
most of
many
the
games,
season.
Yeah.
He played like at most half of the regular season and then a few games in the postseason. But he didn't miss a beat, man. You'd think spending all that time on the bench, your bat would get a little cold. And his bat did not get cold. He stayed hot with his yellow angelic hair flowing from first, second, and third, man. That dude's fast too.
Oh, he is really fast.
That's our
It's the hair.
And then our hype man Hedges.
yeah, Austin Hedges. Well, what a trade for Austin Hedges, from the Pirates, I believe.
Yeah, Pirates.
We just traded for a hype man, really. I don't even.
I swear.
I don't even remember
Traded
what
for a hype man
he's
is
like
crazy.
the Theo Pinson of the Rangers,
He's just that guy to bump up the team.
Every time we hit a home or anything, the cameras would go straight to Hedges.
Straight to
Dugout.
him. And then
Straight
that
to him.
iconic photo where he was hugging somebody, like screaming. I think we hit like a double or something. That was great. I think I posted that on our Instagram page if you want to go follow that. Downtime _ re-up on Instagram.
Are you gonna put that on the screen?
He had that one at bat.
Probably
man.
not.
Yeah. Austin Hedges he hit 100% in the postseason.
Are you
One out,
serious?
100%.
That's-
One game, one at bat, one hit.
He know what he wants.
Well, didn't he strike out on 3 pitches?
It's showing right here only one at bat, one hit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never mind. Nope, I'm wrong. That's one at bat.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
one
fine.
at bat, no hits.
Yeah. Yeah.
He struck out on 3. I think it was 3 sweepers that he struck out on.
Right?
I think it was the Diamondbacks and
Yes.
extras.
Mhm.
The Diamondbacks and extras, because I was like, why
Oh,
didn't
yes,
you
you
put
forget
in?
yeah.
I was like, why didn't you put in
remember.
anybody else?
They put a goddamn hype man out
but
there.
I guess it worked out.
Especially with Garcia's bomb, then send them off.
Yeah. So we sweep the Orioles, then we get the Astros. What was y'all's biggest worry going into the Astro series?
For me, it was letting Jordan. Well, we did kind of let him go get hot a little bit, but really him just absolutely devastating us. But Montgomery was just striking him out left and right. I was giving a big props to Montgomery. One of the few pitchers that was actually giving Jordan trouble.
For sure, yeah. I mean, Jordan was getting killed by Montgomery's curveball. He could not see it to save his life,
I don't blame him.
and that pitch worked for us, man. And Montgomery got the job done that game, and he became my dad's favorite pitcher. that game, he became my dad's favorite pitcher.
Oh, that was-
And George, what about you? What was your biggest worry going into that Astros game?
So I didn't really know much about the Astros besides that they were good again. But my biggest worry is how we would handle the I guess the animosity, and we went to their home and just kicked the crap out of them. So I mean, I guess they handled that pretty well.
Same thing with us. They went to our house and just actually
Right, yeah. Man, Jose Altuve just tore my heart out all over again. It was, oh man, that hurt so much. And especially that putting us down in the series, man, that made it even like, you felt like if it wasn't for the reason we had won every single road game up to that point, you would have thought the season was over. But just because of that fact that we had won every single road game gave me a little bit of hope, like maybe we could just keep the streak going.
And we absolutely
And
obliterated
we
them. at
destroyed them. You know, it wasn't even a question in Game 7. Those stands were empty by the 8th inning.
6th, 7th inning?
8th, 7th inning. People were leaving. It was the most beautiful thing. And with the Dolis doing it too, just to rub it in their faces.
He had 2 home runs, right?
I think he had 3 home runs in the
Two,
last 2
two.
games.
No, he had 2 that was at the game
2,
7.
yeah, 2 in the last game. You know, one was a big one to get us going, and then the other one was just to seal it. You know, just to cut the head off of the snake.
The dagger.
Yeah, the dagger. But speaking of snakes, the Diamondbacks
I see
in the World Series, right?
I was honestly surprised, really surprised about that. I honestly really wanted to go against the Phillies, but I wanted to kind of see Bryce Harper.
I did not want to go against the Phillies.
I love Bryce Harper.
I knew it would have been a good game, but going against the Phillies would have made it so much harder. I mean, their bats get going, it's just as dangerous or even more dangerous about when our bats keep going. You know,
True. Especially if Bryce Harper's going on
Yeah.
and Kyle Schwarber. Oh, that's
Yeah.
kind of game over pretty
and
much.
at the time, Simeon was struggling big time. You know, one of our bats that we
barely
really
over
counted
100.
on. It was a scare, the possibility of facing the Phillies,
I would have
but
loved it.
it would have been a great series. Maybe the viewership numbers would have been up. Who knows?
I don't
Who cares?
Who cares? We won.
Who cares?
No, the boo boo.
But yeah, I mean, I think we had all set our predictions on the very first pod. I had us in 5 or 6.
I had us as well.
I had us in 6.
Yeah, we all knew it wasn't gonna go to 7.
Yeah.
No way.
We had to
And-
seal it.
It was. I feel like most people also felt like this is the Rangers series to lose for the first time in the whole playoffs. You know, we were the favorites. We were the favorites. We weren't the underdogs for once in the playoffs, and we answered the call. Unquestionably answered the call,
No.
especially in that 5th game. It wasn't even a question. And
The same game like Astros, we were beating them 11 already.
yeah,
That's
like
insane.
just that last game, we just put it all to rest. It was no questions about this or that, or if one call was different, something else would have happened. It was the Rangers would have won this game no matter what.
The
They're
calls
still
were
better.
terrible in that
Calls
series.
were terrible. I feel like the
Pissing me
the
off.
best calls were actually in that last game. That man,
Oh,
that Zach Gallen, props to him, was pitching a gem. I feel bad for him. His offense didn't show up for him, but it worked into our favor. And here we are, World Series champs. I think here soon we'll probably have a banner behind us, Rangers World Series. For now, all we got is this Mavericks blanket, which
Mavericks season.
I think is pretty cool.
It's awesome.
But we'll stick Rangers World Series up there. Maybe we'll stick something Cowboys up there too, since that seems to be the big things on the podcast.
No, yeah. This would be crazy if we get playoffs, Cowboys, playoffs, Mavericks. It'll be an amazing
We're gonna have a lot of
time to be
about.
in the DFW.
Right, and I think for sure the Cowboys are going to get into the playoffs.
Mhm.
It's a must with the team that we have right now, and especially after that last week's performance against the Rams. I mean, what do y'all think? How did y'all feel about that Cowboys performance?
It was. I'll be honest. I didn't watch the full game. I watched after halftime.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty ugly going into halftime.
But I'd say I got my prediction right. Pretty much, I said we'll hold them to less than 20. They got at 20, but close enough. All right.
Yeah.
And George got his right, 40.
I was joking around a 40 burger. These guys weren't joking. I'll tell you what.
They were
These
for
guys
real.
were not joking.
They must have watched the pod and they knew that they had to keep George's word about the 40.
You don't want to make me a liar, guys. I appreciate that.
And for me, I had the Rams not scoring any more than 14. And to be fair, they didn't score more than 14 until the third, fourth quarter when we didn't even care anymore. The game was over. We were already throwing our subs out there in the fourth quarter. And I got my performance out of CD, Unfortunately, that wasn't enough for my fantasy team to win. My opponent scored 144 points. But CD, take a bow, CD. What a game.
CD had 12 catches for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns. That is insane.
Crazy.
The only other receiver I've known this year that's kind of done something like that would be Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
But he's a cheetah.
Yeah. And don't forget the fact that, like I said, the Rams had only let up 4 receiving touchdowns all season. And I think we put up 4 on them in one game. That, it was a statement without a doubt, man.
Yeah.
It was beautiful to see.
I just wish, well, not really wish, but I was hoping to see a little bit more Tony Pollard kind of break out more.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted for that game.
Yeah.
He only had 53 yards. Meh.
On how many carries? 53 yards on 12 carries. Not terrible. What is that, like 4 yards per carry?
Yeah.
Around there.
4.5. We still have not seen a breakout game for him yet.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't become a super worry until it's
Our
like
receivers
our receivers are doing bad, or if it's like a run and needed game. If we're facing like a top 3 pass defense kind of situation and we have to run the ball, maybe Dak's having an off day. Can Pollard be that guy?
Yeah, but he's not. Yes, injuries may be like holding him back a little bit now, but he's had some chances to kind of explode out, but he doesn't. He gets attacked from behind or from the sides. He needs to break out of those a little bit more. That's what I kind of wish for, but and all done, we won the game. It's fine.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, and this week we got the Eagles. Huge game. I think if we win this game, we are top of the division, because we'll have more division wins, less losses than they will. And it'll be a statement, man. If we go over there and we beat Philadelphia the same way we beat the Rams, it's undisputed who the best team in the NFC is, because everybody's saying that the Eagles are the best team in the NFC, but right now you look at how the Eagles are playing. They're edging out most of their wins against teams we are blowing out, you know? So Dak needs to play like he did this week. They need to keep looking for CD. and get a little bit of play action going, open up the run a little bit for Pollard, and our defense just got to keep playing like our defense has been playing, man. They look like the top 3 defense in the league right there with San Francisco. San Francisco's actually been looking pretty bad as of late because their quarterback has been terrible.
Win against us,
Cowboy
pretty
curse.
much.
Yeah, San Francisco defense has been pretty iffy. Pittsburgh looked really good last night. They were playing against Will Levis, rookie quarterback, but they still look good regardless. They got T.J. Watt out there. The Browns, they got Myles Garrett out there. So a lot of other good defenses, but you definitely have an argument for the Cowboys being the best defense in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I think the only thing that might hold us back is because we let so many points against the Niners. We had 2 games, right? That was pretty high scoring. I think that's the only reason someone would say we won't, but really, we had.
Yeah.
That was the first game. That was high scoring was because Trevon Diggs was out. That was the first game, so our cornerback was still trying to get somewhat adjusted.
And it's really hard to overlook that Niners game, but it's kind of something that at this point you can do because of the last 3 losses. You're like, the Niners aren't as good. Maybe the Cowboys just had an off day. Mike McCarthy had a bad play calling day. Just a few mistakes here and there just led to an avalanche.
Absolutely.
And they found their feet again, and I have a good feeling about them against the Eagles. So
what is y'all's predictions for this Eagles game, guys? What about you, Xavier? I want you to go first.
I think it's gonna be high. I feel like it's gonna be high scoring.
Really?
It's always high scoring against the Eagles for some reason. Especially last year, it was like 40 something to 40, 45 to 42.
It was high scoring. I was there last year whenever they played at home versus the Eagles.
I think I was there too, if I'm right. I went at the Christmas game.
Yeah. It was
So
right before
I'm expecting
Christmas,
another classic, amazing game from both teams. Obviously, I want the Cowboys to win. I think that still will be roughly in the mid 40s. I want them to be in the 20s, 30s.
Yeah.
So that's my prediction.
I think, obviously, I want us to win. I think we're going to be in the 30s range, with the Eagles being in the 20s range. I feel like we're going to make a statement near halftime. Like, towards the second half, we're going to make our statement and finally come out in the front races. Front side.
For me, man, Jalen Hurts has that knee problem he's been working through. Their running game looks pretty non-existent.
One-liner machine.
Their big thing right now is A.J. Brown. Can Deron Bland, Stephon Gilmore, can they stop A.J. Brown?
I feel like they should.
And I don't know about stopping, but for sure slow him down. He's been pretty crazy here as of late.
You can't fully stop a crazy receiver like that.
Yeah, number 1 is really hard to completely shut down. He's gonna get his stuff here and there. So I'm thinking like a 30 to 20, something like that. 30 to 20, something like that. I'm feeling. Eagles are definitely gonna score, but we're gonna score more.
Yeah, that's pretty much. We're gonna score more at the end of the day. Because whoever makes the least amount of mistakes throughout the game is gonna win. Whoever has the least penalties, because I feel like penalties is gonna be a big part of the game.
And especially counting out Dak's performance against the Niners. I mean, even without counting it out, he has the least turnovers out of all of the NFC's quarterbacks. And Jalen Hurts, he has a lot, He has way more than Dak, especially if you take away that 49ers game. I mean, the difference is huge. So we just get Hurts to make a few mistakes that our offense capitalizes, and the game just in a snap. It's 14-0, 21-7.
Absolutely.
It's
We've been known for that this season, just turning around instantly. We can score 2 touchdowns with our offense and defense within 5 minutes or less.
But speaking of a turnaround, how about those Mavs compared to last season, man? They did not look very good coming out of the gate last season, but this season is a completely different story.
Yeah, I was a little scared towards the end of last season. I'm pretty sure we didn't make the postseason, right? I keep lying to myself thinking we made it, but we didn't make that postseason. Not even the play-in tournament.
No.
God.
We're like 5 games away.
You know what? Thank Mark Cuban he did that, because we may have gotten the best center in the league from the draft.
And then
Derek Lively.
Well, obviously, we don't want to admit that we're proud of tanking, but like, we got Derek Lively. I mean, come on.
he's been getting offensive boards,
Oh yeah.
defensive board. Anything that's getting rebounded is mostly by him.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
insane.
he's been crazy, man. For a rookie center, a lot of the times, an inside center, you think it's gonna take him a little bit to settle in, to get used to how to play defense,
He's
how
got to get used to how
fast,
physical the
Yeah.
centers in the NBA
how
are.
fast, how physical,
Yeah.
Man, he
how
had
they
a
can really shoot from anywhere most of the time. And man, he has it all, man.
Yeah.
He hasn't
It's
showed like
crazy.
he hasn't showed anything. Like
He's-
he's not been
he's-
physically. He's getting bullied. He hasn't showed anything.
Right.
He's been bullying the vet, not really the vets, but other players
Yeah.
out there.
He's so cool, calm, and collected out there. He knows what he's doing, and I'm assuming Tyson Chandler's doing a good job in coaching him through.
Has to be. And the only thing that I was a little concerned about, which credit to Jason Kidd in the first game being concerned about it, was the fouls. Derek Lively did have a game where he basically took himself out of the game because he had too many fouls. He had like 5 fouls in the third already or something like that. So
He
he basically took himself out of it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the stats right now. He really needs to improve his free throw. He is shooting 44% from the
Yeah.
free throw right now. That is a lot of easy points
Yeah,
that
I
we
was,
could have.
I was at the game Wednesday, and I saw him miss a free throw, and I looked at Tyson Chandler just shake his head. He was so little. He was upset, but I know he's gonna work through that. Of
No,
course.
Yeah, that's definitely something that can be worked on.
Oh yeah.
He's averaging roughly 8 rebounds a game.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them obviously 4.3 defense, 3.5 offense. Even getting 3 to 4 rebounds in offense
Really close to a
pretty much gives
double-double
us
there.
an extra 3 to 2,
Yeah.
12 extra points
And
maybe.
we didn't have those offensive rebounds last year,
No.
man. A lot of the times we took a 3-pointer,
Yep.
and by the time that 3-pointer hit the rim, we were already back on our side of the
Yeah, yeah.
floor, you know?
We didn't even try to go for the paint. Nothing off the glass.
So let's go game by game here.
Well, real
After the
quick,
Spurs game.
Let's just talk about the elephant in the room, Luka Doncic.
Okay.
Playing out of his mind.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's playing out of his mind.
he
Apart
ran-
from Wednesday.
right now he's averaging 33.8 points a game. That's
Okay.
absurd.
Almost 10 assists, 9.8 we're seeing. Insane efficiency as well.
He's pretty much almost averaging
He's
a
almost
double
averaging,
double,
uh,
double
a-
double double,
A double.
Okay.
double double.
Wait, isn't he almost averaging a triple
He's
double?
actually
Uh,
almost averaging a triple double.
let's
He's
see here.
darn
Let's
close.
Let's say, oh yeah, it's just his assists that are
Yeah.
3.8,
He's at a triple double.
pretty much.
Basically.
I mean,
If
if
you
you
round
round up,
everything up.
which we round up here for our players.
We love our mathematics.
I'm surprised he's hitting 42% from 3. He's usually hitting 25, 22.
Well, you
Okay,
gotta-
25, 22 is a little low. Let's calm
No,
down.
no, no.
I think it
that
got-
season stats were 26.
It got
Really?
boosted from
Yeah.
that game where he hit his career high 9.
That's
That's
true.
for sure. He gets stat padded on
Yeah,
that.
if you look at the 22 to 23, his 3 was like a 26, 27.
Was it?
Yeah, for the
I swear it was in
season.
the low 30s.
Man,
Wasn't it crazy.
I don't know. Yeah, that's
I'm gonna-
insane.
I'll
if,
look at it
if
later.
it was that low, that's
I
crazy.
think it was.
We knew he wasn't good. I feel like the only 3 he knows how to do is a step back 3.
Yeah,
Step
that's
back
step
three.
He
back.
loves the hard shot.
100% contested.
If he's wide open, it might be a brick.
And typically, like on the wing on his left side,
Yeah.
that's his spot. But yeah, let's go game by game here. After the Spurs game, Xavier, what was the game after that?
The game after. Hold up,
It was the Nets.
Oh,
game,
it was
the home opener.
it was against the Brooklyn Nets, guys. I went there. It was the best experience of my life. Dirk Nowitzki was there. Oh man, almost every single seat was filled. It was amazing. Although I didn't like how close it was. The Nets aren't contending. They aren't expected to. Are they even expected to make the playoffs? Does anybody know?
I don't think they are.
I would
The
think
only-
not.
It was too
The
close for my
only reason
comfort.
I feel like they would if they give Cam Thomas starting minutes.
Yeah.
That man is just a go getter, just gets
He's a
buckets pretty
bucket
much.
getter.
Yeah, but he was getting targeted on the offensive side from us. So I mean, although he'll give you 30, he'll give up 30 just as easy.
Yeah, which reminds me of a player on our side, Hardy. Hardy does need to improve his defense a little bit. It's been lacking. His plus minus is pretty abysmal. But for me, it looks like a lot of false confidence whenever he's shooting. Like he's always been a confident player. He's always gonna get his shots up, but like he's getting his shots up like he's confident, but they just don't feel like they actually are confident. It looks like kind of like a facade of confidence that he's
Every
still
now and
putting
then
in
he
shots.
has like a weird hitch in his jump shot that I'm noticing, or at least the game I was there, I saw it on Wednesday. He went up for a mid-range pull-up, and it just looked, I don't know, it looked
Like
shaky up there.
off.
Yeah, it looked off. I didn't it wasn't going.
It was a big game against the Nets
Oh yeah.
for Doncic. 49 points, absolutely absurd.
Had 49 points in the home opener.
And his career high 3 points, 9.
Mm-hmm.
9. Oh no. I
That's
think
crazy,
he shot
man.
7.
He almost had triple double, 7 assists, 10 rebounds, 49 points. That's absurd.
He wanted it.
That was when Kyrie got outscored by Tim Hardaway, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what? No,
Tim Hardaway went
I
crazy.
think Tim Hardaway's been outscoring Kyrie.
Tim is
He's averaging 21 points.
Like, I picked up Tim Hardaway Jr. on my fantasy basketball team instead of Kyrie. Like, I didn't waste my draft pick on Kyrie. I picked up
we're talking
TJ
about
last
Jaden
round.
Hardy's false confidence. Tim Hardaway is the embodiment of
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah,
He
like
does not stop confidence.
THJ, like that's real
Check it out.
confidence.
That's some real.
That's real
That takes
confidence.
guts right there. He would
He
miss
doesn't
3
care.
shots in a row and just pull up from anywhere.
From anywhere
Yeah.
with somebody in his face.
Yeah,
Like, it does
scared
not
nobody.
matter. And for me, it's like if somebody's in his face, better, bro. Like, he's probably
Yeah.
gonna make it if somebody's in his face.
100%.
I think he got at the end in the fourth quarter. He got an and one on a 3-pointer, which was it was electric. It was electric in that stadium.
Mhm.
I want to talk about the big shot there, the game winner, the big dagger from Luka Doncic, the one-handed 3-pointer off the backboard.
That was crazy.
That was something else. I got up from my seat and I lost my voice on that play. I lost
Bro,
my
it's
voice.
like Kareem from the 3,
Yeah,
the skyhook.
Get off the backboard.
It was so dumb.
I thought he was playing horse out there.
Over just two. It was over 2 people, right?
It was on 2 people. It was on, I believe it was on Dorian and Ham. It was
Oh.
crazy.
Poor Dorian.
And it's like Luka's one of those players though, like if Grant Williams would have shot that, or Derrick Jones Jr., or even Hardy, you're like, what are you doing, dude? But like Luka puts it up, and you're like, this might go in, dude. This might go
You
in.
never know.
This
You're
might
just
go
there
in.
at the end of your seat. You can shoot it backwards and you're still there.
Yeah.
You're waiting for it to go in.
Yeah, and you know, it's just an embodiment of his nickname, Luka Magic, bro. He can do whatever he wants on the floor,
Mhm.
and you can't question it because it works.
So in front of me, there was people that were criticizing his passing. But you got to be risky when it comes to being a playmaker, and you want to be a good playmaker. You want to make the big plays. You got to be risky with your passes. You can't just keep playing it safe and expect big results. That's what I love about Luka. His confidence never falters when it comes to his passing. He would just sling it to where he thinks somebody should be,
And they're gonna be there.
and they're gonna be there.
Yeah, and as a playmaker, that's true in so many sports, like in soccer, you know, or
Mhm.
football.
Football.
If you're a winger and you're considered a creative playmaking winger, you're gonna lose the ball a few times going for dribbles.
Yep.
You're gonna make a few aired passes, trying to do some stuff, but those times that you do get those skill moves, that you do succeed those dribbles and get those crosses, and that's what they pay you for, you know.
Vinicius
They don't
has
pay
been
you to
doing
be
really
safe.
well with that.
Yeah.
Vinicius Jr. has been doing
Yeah.
really well with that.
And for, you know, the U.S. men's national team followers, Christian Pulisic, man, when he is confident and he's taking players on is when he's at his best, instead of just passing backwards all the time, which is what they had him doing a lot in Chelsea. They were having him pass back way too much. But that's for another podcast.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next game. So for anybody who didn't know,
I think it was Memphis,
the
right?
Mavs won the game versus the Nets at a score of what was the score?
120 to 125.
120 and 125.
Mavericks 125, Nets 120. Obviously, we won that. And then seems we have a fetish with 125. The Memphis versus Dallas Mavericks was 125 to 110 points. What was up with our defense that game? Well, not, points wise, but like how the heck did we let Marcus Smart drop a 20+ point game on us?
Desmond Bain had 30 points on us.
Yeah, but Desmond Bain's a shooter. I don't really.
I mean,
And Jaren Jackson?
he's
Yeah,
got T-Rex arms, though.
That's where I'm worried about too. Jaron Jackson Jr.
I was a huge Jaren Jackson Jr. fan for a while there, but then he just never picked it up again, you know?
Right there, that is 80 points right there.
Yeah.
Just with 3 players.
Yeah. They're the only people to
But
get
yeah.
to double digits too.
Yeah.
That's like all they have, though. All they
Yeah.
have is Desmond Bain, Marcus Smart, and Jaren Jackson Jr. I
Mhm.
mean, the rest of their roster is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Everybody else had like 8, 4, 9.
Yeah.
And How about on the Mavs end? How did we
This was
do?
another monster game by Luka Doncic. 12 boards, 12 assists with 35 points. And not only that, Derrick Jones also went off as well with 22 points.
Oh
Yeah, that was the beginning of the Derrick Jones Jr. saga
This
dynasty,
is where
whatever
we
you want
are
to call it.
currently, and that's how I hope it will continue to be. Where we just love on Derrick Jones Jr. I mean, I
Yeah.
love the guy. He's
And
an
I
amazing
remember
player.
talking about the first game and talking about Derrick Jones Jr. We were like, why did he start?
Yeah.
And it was kind of a letdown when he started.
Yeah, I said not to beat him on that.
And-
fast.
Yeah,
I told her, I said it, relax.
We
a
all
little bit.
said, you know, he's his first couple games,
Right.
and you know, we're not gonna bash a new player because obviously
Mhm.
he joined us, he signed with us, and we're grateful, you know, to have people that love to come to Dallas.
Yeah,
quite
and
good.
I saw something about like Derrick Jones Jr. had only ever scored more than 15 points once, and then he's done it like twice or 3 times or whatever
The Luka Doncic
in like
effect.
back-to-back games. And yeah,
Pretty
this
much.
it's the Luka Doncic effect, dude.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic elevates players
Yeah.
no matter who they are.
Mhm.
Actually,
You're just a better looking player under Luka, which is kind of cool because it could attract some players just to come and play here,
Yeah,
you know, for
some
cheaper
3D
for
players.
some cheaper contracts so that they can go and get bigger contracts somewhere else because they know Luka's gonna make them look
Yeah,
better,
we're gonna get a lot of rental players.
and that works in our benefit, you know, because you know they're probably gonna be decent players that want to look
Promise you.
really good, and Luka is gonna make them look really good.
Tim Hardaway also dropped 21 as well.
Yeah, I think Tim Hardaway's dropped like
It's 20 a
20,
game.
he's dropped 20
He's
a
pretty good,
game,
yeah.
like 3 of the 4 games or something like that. He's
Not
dropped
the most
20.
efficient, but as long as he keeps shooting and making them, who cares?
Grant Williams, the first 3 games, if I'm right, he had a slow start
Yeah,
into this most recent game,
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly.
the first 2-ish games were kind of slow. These last 2 games, he's had 3 3-pointers in the first quarter,
He's found his stride.
which is crazy. And I mean, he's like the perfect player for us, you know.
Absolutely.
Like we were saying earlier, he's just a better version of DFS, to be honest, you know.
He's a 300 and a very good defender.
Yeah, he's great everywhere on the floor against any matchup. You're just confident that Grant's gonna give you the defense and the 3-pointers no matter what. I don't know much about his inside.
Yeah.
Do y'all know anything about his inside play?
Not really, but I'm
Um,
sure you could throw it
I
on.
saw
a
him go
good
against. I saw him go against Victor. That's from a
dunk. That's all we need to know. He's pretty good on the inside, but where he stands out the most is his physicality, three and D defense.
That's
I'll tell you
Beans,
what,
by
I
the
do
way.
love Grant Williams because of his character. Of course, he's anytime you can get a character and a good player, you've just won the lottery there. Everybody knows that to make a good team, you need to have good characters, good chemistry, and of course, good players.
Yeah. So obviously a great Mavs game. Mavs win, and then moving on to the next game.
Was that my game?
Yes. Bulls.
Yeah, the latest
The
game.
Bulls. Okay, so I want to take y'all quarter by quarter.
Yeah, because he
First
was there.
quarter. Cause what?
Because you were there. You were
I
there.
was there. So first quarter, Zach LaVine was lighting us up, but let it be known that's the only quarter he lit us up. He scored 17 in the first quarter, and he ended up with 22. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he seemed he used all of his spark in the first quarter.
Disappointing for my basketball fantasy
Absolutely
team, considering the fact that I had him.
I wanna talk about Alex Caruso and his Alex Caruso and Patrick Williams. They were both taking turns guarding Luka Doncic, and they were doing a hell of a job.
Who do you think was better?
I think
Caruso was just fidgeting with him that whole time.
yeah,
He's not
Patrick,
letting him.
like in the fourth quarter, Patrick Williams was guarding it. No, I think it was the third, but like towards the end of the third, at the beginning of the fourth, Patrick Williams was picking them up all the way up from the inbound. Not what is it, inbound? What is it? Baseline? I forgot. Inbound pass, right?
Mhm.
And I don't know. It just felt like they were trying to swarm Luka, and that's where
Beyond
who
half
is-
court.
I forgot who was playing with the ball most of the time. I think it was Timmy. He was running the offense, which was kind of crazy to me. But he came out with 24 points. He basically he's played better than Luka Doncic, which is crazy.
The one that had the most points.
Yeah, for
Grant
that
Williams.
game,
Grant
for the game
Grant
versus the
Williams,
Bulls.
Crazy.
I saw Grant Williams try to hit 2 step back jump shots. I mean, that's insane. I never thought I'd see a man that big try to do that.
You know, it was Halloween, no, or the
No,
day.
This was November 1st.
It was World Series winning day, November 1st, Wednesday.
Yeah.
November 1st,
So
that's how I
the
never
the
watched
day
it.
the
Dallas
day
won that night, by the way.
the day
Texas.
after Halloween, Grant Williams was still feeling his Stephen Curry cosplay from the day before.
What was it in the arena? All you heard was Batman chants. No, 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 no. That's all we heard throughout this because he was playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
I love Batman, and he was actually the poster of that game. When you go to the Mavericks game, on your seat you get a nice little
the little
cardboard,
poster, yeah.
to play around with, and it was
The
Grant
band,
Williams.
The
little
Sounders.
fan things.
If you want to make
Whatever
a
it is.
case for the NBA being scripted, there's your case. They just knew he was gonna have a star performance.
I knew it.
They knew
Yep.
it. Let's see. Third quarter, Luka Doncic barely played for that third quarter. I think Jason Kidd wanted to make some adjustments there because Luka Doncic was stinking up the offense. I'm not gonna lie to you. He made some questionable passes, although I do love when Luka gets cocky and gets confident and just kind of just throws
But
passes.
Not having 6 turnovers in a
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
that
yeah,
Could really
that's-
cost you. Especially
yeah.
with a good. If we win against a good team there,
Yeah.
I feel like we would have lost with those 6 turnovers. That gives them
Y'all's
extra
eye
points.
contact is
He had-
immaculate.
What was it? He had a what was it? It was a foul on him where he went straight up. He went straight up and he was complaining about it for like a couple minutes.
Oh, and didn't I see
Kind of messed
something
with a
about
couple people.
like Grant Williams was telling him to like sit down, I'll talk to the ref for you.
Yeah. That was cool to see because you can tell Grant Williams already made a great connection with our stars. He knows his role in the.
And he knows
offense.
Luka complains too much.
This is true. Although one highlight play, you can check it out on YouTube. It's probably posted by the Mavs on Twitter or something. Derek Lively, he got the ball on a fast break, I believe, and he missed the dunk. But then the next possession, he came back and yammed it.
Mm-hmm.
It was a yam, and who was it? Derek Jones Jr. got a poster over Andre Drummond. It was a putback poster.
I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
I saw that.
Bro,
That
he was
was-
just floating,
He came out
dude.
of
Oh
nowhere.
my goodness! I don't know. Like I was watching it live, and I didn't see him.
It was from the
Mhm.
baseline, right?
He was.
Yeah, he ran up the baseline, and it felt like he jumped early, but he was just floating there.
When
dude.
you're that athletic, it doesn't matter
Like-
when you jump.
It was crazy.
So, as the overall team, we shot 45 from the field goal.
Yeah.
And then from 3, we shot not bad, 41, pretty good.
No, 41 is really good. 45 from the field in general is kind of low. You want to be a little bit above
Yeah,
50
it's
from
like
the field
52,
overall.
53.
But
I think average
mean-
teams shoot like 35, 36 from 3.
yeah, from 3 being anything above 40 is like amazing.
I think
Like,
really goes into Grant Williams. But I think if I'm right, he shot that game. He shot 60 something to 70% from
Mhm.
3.
Let's pull that
It
up
was
actually.
amazing.
Let's make sure we're not feeding the people.
yeah,
wrong
let's check
information.
the box score if we can here.
Let's see here.
Okay. I was just gonna take us to absolute
Oh,
nothing.
Yeah,
yeah.
if you go to Google, you search up Grant Williams. It's not really the best pictures of him. It's kind of funny to look at. Let's see here. Where we at? So he's wow,
77%.
77% from 3 on 25 points.
That's crazy.
That's a superstar. Well, obviously, but
Yeah.
That's undeniably fantastic 3 and D play.
He is right now shooting 55% from the 3.
Does
this
it
season.
tell you his plus minus?
I'm sure if you click on it, maybe if you click on the game, see on him.
Let's see. 2 on this left side right here.
There goes
Why
the
is
big
it
throwdown
not-
right there.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
the left side. That doesn't say. At least I'm not looking at it right. At least.
I mean, it's got to be high though. He's been playing great on defense, great on offense. It's got to be
Is it right there? No.
probably like top
It's
3.
only showing the bed line.
Oh, look at that! It was at 100% capacity. Wow,
You were there.
I was there. I think what really made that night, though, of course, the great win, but the World Series win. We stayed a little bit longer than I should have. It was kind of late, but the streets of downtown, the streets of the American Airlines Center, Victory Avenue, it was just electric. The Rangers won. Everybody had a smile on their face. I mean, it was just beautiful out there.
There's people throwing up on the
There's
street.
people throwing up on the street.
I didn't hear about
All I
that.
heard was beep, 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 blah. I mean, it was just-
Yeah, a little bit of too much of that early celebration.
He should have saved it for the parade.
The parade was packed, by the way.
Yeah,
We
it was
were-
packed.
packed.
We were supposed to get an exclusive recording, just us at the parade. But it's in Arlington. It's a 50-minute drive.
It
There's
could
too much
be-
people.
Yeah, it could have been
Yeah.
even longer considering there could have been even more
And
traffic.
then about parking, we probably have found zero parking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It would be absurd.
And I'm sure the Uber would have cost a lot of money.
I
too,
actually
'cause
checked.
Yeah.
It was like almost like 40 something.
Yeah, no, they raise the prices when
Oh,
they
like-
know that places are busy.
You gotta hand it to them. They know what they're doing. With their business.
Absolutely. So I'm
So
not dropping $50 just to go over there.
No,
it's
you
a
can watch it on YouTube.
it's a 4-0 start, which is always great, regardless of the opponents. But when you do take the opponents into perspective,
Sorry.
we have our first real challenge today. It's the first game of the in-season tournament, and we have the reigning, defending champs.
And
Denver
they
Nuggets.
they are looking like they're not some frauds. Nikola Jokic, after a long season, after a long off season of doing absolutely nothing,
Horse
but riding
managing.
horses,
Yeah.
it looks like why he's a champion. I mean, that guy's playing out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's see if we can explain the rules of this tournament.
I mean-
What are the rules of the tournament?
Right, I have
don't
no
even
idea.
know.
Is that
Although-
what you're searching up right
Real
now?
quick, if you want to see it, it's gonna be a late start. So if you have work tomorrow, you might as well call out. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, do not
Okay.
call out over the first game of the in-season
Oh,
tournament.
I know I am. I don't even work tomorrow. Let's see here. So I'm gonna let you do it.
Holy, this is a lot.
All right.
Make it work, buddy.
Okay, so obviously there's the whole NBA, 30 teams.
Yeah.
All in group play. The knockout rounds are, well, it doesn't really say much about the knockout rounds. It's just one game.
Just one game.
I think so. 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. The team with the best standing in group. Okay, so it'll be a group play, kind of like a World Cup.
Okay.
You
Mhm.
probably play. Let's see.
So it's a World Cup.
One game against each opponent in each group, with 2 games at home and 2 on the road.
Oh yeah.
So we
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
three. We have 3
So-
games.
No, I think there's 5 people in the group, so you have 4 games in your group. So then it says 8 teams will advance to the knockout rounds. The team with the best standing in group play games each of the 6 groups and 2 wild cards. So it's gonna be the top people, I guess, right? The top 6, because there's 6 groups, and then the 2 best records. I'm guessing they're gonna go off of your point differential, if people are tied with the same records. And then obviously it's knockout round, single elimination. So they're not playing series; they're playing one games. It's
that's right.
one-offs. And then it says here that the quarterfinals are December 4th, December 5th.
Semifinals.
Oh, the semifinals and the championship are December 4th and December 5th.
I'm curious on as to how the coaches will
No,
manage their superstars in this in-season tournament, because I
Right.
remember when it was first announced, almost the entirety of the NBA was against it, because it's already a tough season.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited
I'm
too.
excited.
For the fans, this is amazing.
Right.
For the players, probably not.
There's
But
gonna be a lot of. I feel like at the end of the season, not gonna lie, there's probably gonna be more injuries than usually, especially being out there.
Maybe,
longer.
maybe.
yeah. But I mean, with their new rules, you got to play like 62 games, I think, right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
to get
To
I'm-
be
I'm-
eligible
I'm
for
curious
anything.
if that'll go with this. Like, does the new rule on management loading will play into account in the in-season tournament?
Yeah,
as well?
and I think regardless, I think you can't have 2 stars out in one game rule is probably gonna apply here.
Nuggets, Clippers.
But I mean, if y'all want to look at the different groups, they're all on just look up NBA in season tournament and you can see all the groups there. But for today, we're just gonna go over what the Mavs group is gonna be looking like.
We have the Nuggets, Clippers, Pelicans, and the Rockets. I'm not gonna lie, pretty tough.
Yeah, Rockets. I'm not worried about.
The Rockets,
Pelicans.
man. Yeah.
Pelicans.
Rockets,
unless
Pelicans
we
are
see something out of Zion.
Now the Clippers weren't too big of a concern
James Harden.
until James Harden arrived.
Yeah.
James, not to mention PJ Tucker, because he's a phenomenal defender. But
Yeah.
I wonder how long Gary's gonna keep this
And
up.
I mean, they pretty much have their starting lineup there, man. They have James Harden, PJ Tucker, Kawhi, PG, and then they're probably gonna just take Zubac at the center. That's
That's
that's-
barbecue chicken for Luka Doncic. He loves
yeah.
playing
He
against
loves
Zubac.
playing against
Chicken, I
Zubac.
like
He loves playing against the Clippers in general because Clippers they're supposed to have these 2 superstar defenders,
Especially with them knocking
and
out twice. Knocking us
yeah,
out
they
twice.
knocked us out in the bubble, right? They knocked us
Mhm.
out in the bubble, and then the year after.
What a highlight that was.
Um,
Made me very mad. I think that's when I started like really getting into sports.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
never used to
God.
watch sports until 2019. That's when I started really
Mhm.
getting
Oh,
into
then you
everything.
really figure out what you were trying to do.
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure to get out of the group, Obviously you're gonna have your 6 group winners. You're probably gonna have to go undefeated to be a group winner. And if you want a chance at getting out of the group, I don't think you can lose more than 2 games.
Let's see here.
And
What's next on our agenda here, boys?
we also go against the Nuggets. Nuggets today, obviously.
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
against the Nuggets today.
Kyrie's back.
Let's
It was announced. And then, yeah.
He was
let's
back.
give our predictions for the game.
Jason Kidd is out, by the way.
Jason Kidd is
He's not
feeling
coming.
under the weather, so he's staying home.
He's gonna be just like you and me, watching on our couches.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? Well, first, I know for sure Kyrie's gonna get limited minutes. I wonder how they're gonna handle Luka because he's been playing a lot of minutes, but I don't know if we're gonna take it seriously or not. We should be. Right?
Yeah,
I
I
feel
think
like any team should
this
be.
is
They should, yeah, we should.
it should be a goal to at least get out of the group.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome to be the first team to win this. It's awesome. It's a huge accomplishment.
Yep, the brand new tournament. So I'll go ahead and start. I'm feeling a 125 to 117.
This
Mavs win.
This
Mavs
might
win, of
be a little
course.
crazy. I think
Whoa!
we'll
Uh-oh.
be in the 130s.
Ooh,
Get out. I'm just kidding.
Doors over there.
133 to 128.
that's yeah.
I'm going specifically.
Because I'll tell you what, we're not really gonna stop Jokic.
That's not saying it's gonna
Yeah.
be high scoring. I don't think either of the offenses are gonna
Jokic
stop.
is
You
gonna
think
be
Kyrie's gonna
like
have a good one today?
He better. He better.
maybe. Yeah. Jokic is just gonna be throwing sky hooks up with his eyes closed.
Pretty
I
much
think
right
he's gonna
over
be
here.
dreaming about his horses.
This would be great if Lively can stop Jokic. That would be insane. Absolutely insane. But
Let's not.
Not gonna happen. It's not gonna
I
happen.
can't-
Let's not have too much expectations on the lad.
that's in my dreams, bro.
He's fresh out of high school, basically. He's
Yeah,
put
and
up
he's,
good
our,
MVP.
he's our age.
He's
he is. He's
He's our
19.
age.
wow.
He
He's
might
our age.
be turning 20 very soon, but I think he's 19.
Damn.
But I mean, we would have had Maxi probably starting this game,
Yeah.
And
but
yes.
Maxi got hurt last game. I don't know if he's playing or if he's limited.
I wonder if we'll actually see Rashawn Holmes out there today. Do you
Some
think?
Rashawn Holmes would be crazy.
Yeah, because I mean he's a good shot blocker, but I know he's not the best inside the paint. But maybe some shot blocking. would
outside
be
the paint?
nice.
Chicharito's
Or outside or
not LA
inside?
Galaxy no more.
Oh, inside.
He's
What?
what?
Chicharito left LA Galaxy right now.
Where is he?
Yeah, where'd he
he's
go?
He's not going. His
going
contract
home?
expired. He's done.
Oh, he's going
He got waived.
Yep.
He got tired of
Did he
it.
wave back?
No, he didn't win back.
Ah.
He don't like you.
Chicha.
I just saw that and I was like, huh.
Oh right, my score prediction. I'm gonna go with. I was gonna say 125, but I don't think I'm gonna say 125. I think it's going to be 115. No, 117 to 112. 117 to 112.
So pretty much all I predicted
That's
are
a-
close games.
Yeah, and
Close, yeah,
you have
no.
the lowest scoring game out of all of us. I mean, it's
I just
possible.
skyrocketed.
I feel like it's gonna be a grinding game. I hope it's not boring. It might be.
I just hope Michael Porter Jr. doesn't go crazy.
I have I got Michael Porter Jr. on my fantasy team.
Alright,
I'm not playing him though. He's
Good.
benched. He's
good,
benched.
Good.
Yeah.
Talk
So
to us about the Dallas Stars, guys. Come on, tell me something.
yeah. So just a little bit real quick about the Dallas Stars. One of the best starts ever in franchise history. We're 7-1-1, which means we have 7 wins, 1 loss in overtime, and 1 just straight up
That
loss.
guy's name Jamie Bean. Ben. My bad.
Jamie Ben.
He's been there for a while.
Really?
As of now, we're top of our conference with a game in hand, given the Colorado Avalanche also have a game in hand, but we're still a point above them because they have 2 losses. We have only 1 loss and an overtime loss.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling real good about the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars are definitely playoff candidates.
Yeah.
Definitely Stanley Cup candidates as well.
Yeah.
And our rivals on the other side,
We've scored a lot of goals so far.
yeah, our rivals on the other side though, the Golden Knights haven't lost a straight up lost a single game, which are the people who took us out of the playoffs last year. For those who don't know, that are trying to catch up on the Stars a little bit. We don't like the Golden Knights very much, but they are a really good team. So they have 10 wins, 1 overtime loss. They're at 21 points. They have 43 goals scored
know that.
In 11 games, we
No
have
way.
30 goals scored in 9
See?
games. And we actually have 24 goals against in 9 games, while the Golden Knights have 24 goals against in 11 games. So they've played 2 whole more games than us, and they've given up fewer goals. A little bit concerning, but Ottinger hasn't been playing all these games. Wedgwood's been out there, which is our backup goalie. Ottinger's like our young superstar. And Jason Robertson, Jamie Benn, and a few of our off-season pickups have been pretty good. But that's just really the quick overview on the Dallas Stars, because I know it's not a huge thing for most people, but for those who want to get into a little bit, there's a little bit of
Guys,
starting knowledge.
Dallas Stars tickets are not that expensive.
They're
I
not that
recommend.
expensive.
I'm trying to get into hockey. I'm on this podcast to talk sports, and I want to talk about hockey. So I'm gonna go to a couple games. I'm making my goal to go to at least 3 games this season.
I think we all should.
Honestly, right? As a
Yeah.
group, as a podcast event, we should all go try to, meet up with fans. That's not gonna.
We do sign autographs for those
We
who
will
care.
definitely sign a couple autographs, sign baby foreheads, all the thing.
Wait.
Mhm.
We'll hold your babies to take pictures with them. Come on, we're there.
Yeah. But I mean, for sure, if you're looking for a night out with the family and you don't want to go to a Mavericks game because maybe the tickets are a little too expensive, go to a Stars game, man. It's great fun, a lot of action, and you'll still be at that AAC with that brand new big screen and their brand new chairs. So go ahead and go support your
And if
Dallas
you
Stars,
haven't been
man.
to an event, the American Airlines Center, they have it set up in a way so where almost every seat is a good seat.
Yeah.
Everything looks
Pretty much,
good,
yeah.
even from the 300s to the
Mhm.
100s to the 200s. Everything just looks really
That's
close
great.
up. Just bring your glasses if you need to. But it
Yeah.
looks great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the puck is a little bit small, so those who don't watch hockey, you're gonna have to get used to the speed of it a little bit, because
Oh, yeah,
that puck is
extremely
constantly
fast.
moving.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of good fun and a lot of action. But
I just like seeing people get knocked down.
Yeah.
that's one of the cool things too.
Speaking about getting knocked down,
Okay, good transition.
this Saturday, UFC Fight Night, we have, the main card, Derek Brunson and Jaiton Almeida. I don't know how to say his last name. He's a Brazilian fella.
Derek Brunson, a Texas guy though, so for those who don't know who to root for,
Yeah. So here we go. We're just gonna talk about the main event.
that's Derek Lewis, no?
Because it's
There it is.
Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis, not Derek Brunson.
Yeah. That's a middleweight wrestler. So here's the stylistic matchup. Jaiton Almeida, he hasn't really gotten hit much in his first 6 UFC fights. If I'm not mistaken, he holds the record like currently as not getting hit as much, beating out John Jones, like beating out heavy hitters, right? So the stylistic matchup, Jaiton Almeida, he's a Brazilian. What they usually do, they like their jiu-jitsu. So we might see some attempt to get on the ground.
Whole bunch of hugging.
Whole lot of hugging, but listen, if you're an avid MMA fan and you know what you're looking at, it's fun to you. Derek Lewis, that dude's not MMA. Let's be real. That dude's just a slugger.
Straight boxer.
He's gonna throw something and it's gonna kill somebody. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. Let's see. I think predictions.
I for sure got my
Obviously trying
boy
to get into UFC.
got my boy Derek for the win. I recently ran into a compilation of him complaining about his balls being hot. Found that pretty funny. So I'm now a Derek Lewis fan.
Okay. So on the betting sides, they have Jaiton Almeida winning. You know, he's the
What's the plus? What's the
plus minus? Go back to the previous page, Jamie. Chavi.
Jamie? I'm not Jamie. Wait,
It is Jaiton Almeida at a minus 485.
Oh, wow.
And Brunson,
So
Derek Lewis at a plus 370.
So Lewis is a decently sized underdog there. So
Yeah,
for
they have-
you betting fanatics, if you want to put some money on a Texas guy that does have a chance and win some money, he's not a bad shout. But none of us are UFC aficionados. So
No.
They have Derek Lewis with an 81% chance of knocking out
Oh, yeah.
Almeida.
Expected.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Look at him, he's huge.
So I think this plays out in 2 different outcomes. Either Jaiton Almeida wins by submission in the 3rd, or Derek Lewis gets a knockout in the 2nd. And I think that's how it's gonna play out. It's neither. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go to decision. Heavyweights rarely go to decision.
yeah, and I think the first is gonna be a bit of a feeling out round.
He's,
What's his name? Jaimeda?
Almeida.
Almeida. He's a ground heavy guy, and one of his recent fights, he went straight for trying to go for the ground.
Yeah.
Didn't really give the other guy a chance to get
breathing
his
range.
stand up ready. Yeah, didn't give him a chance to breathe. So Derek Lewis is gonna have to be ready for the takedowns,
Yeah.
and I feel like that first round is gonna be a lot of defending takedowns, kind of filling each other out.
Yeah.
And then that second round, Derek Lewis is gonna start trying to pop off once he gets a little bit of a rhythm of Almeida going for these random takedowns.
Yeah, I'm curious how Derek Lewis's stamina is going to hold up against a ground heavy guy, because obviously wrestling and just ground game in general is very heavy on the body.
Yes.
Very heavy on the body.
Yes.
So you see people breathing really heavy, like towards their sprawls. I'm really curious to see how that'll play out.
Mhm.
And what do y'all think?
Well, I really don't know much. I'm trying to get into UFC, but it's really
Yeah.
difficult to watch anything, especially with those high prices. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, well yeah.
Just do a
And
little
boss.
bit of TikTok live watching,
Yeah.
maybe. But that's as far as I'm gonna say about that. I don't want anybody coming after me. So yeah, bringing in the UFC is kind of something a little bit new that we're gonna be trying on the show.
We love UFC.
Just a little quick segment. Same with the Stars. Same with FC Dallas, which this Saturday, me and Xavier are gonna be at the game. It's here at the Toyota Stadium in Frisco. They need to win this game. They lost the first game 2-0.
They have to.
If they lose this game, they're out of the playoffs. So anybody who's going there will be there as well. And I hope they win. And I'm not very confident they will, but I'm hopeful, and that's what matters.
I'm just really going to support, honestly, another Dallas. Well, not really Dallas. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Dallas
it's the
team.
FC
I mean,
Dallas. It's a Dallas team.
All-
Another
all
Dallas
that's
team is
needed-
in playoffs.
All that's needed is FC Dallas to win to create the
It'll be
quadrant.
it'll be
of 18.
absurd if all our teams this year win.
Rangers, Dallas. You know, we have a pretty good chance this year, except FC Dallas.
Yeah, no, I don't.
That's- that's
FC
really
Dallas is
cool.
maybe getting
Yes.
out of this round, but then they have to go against LAFC,
Yeah.
so that's even less likely.
Vela
Yeah.
show.
Hey, maybe we'll be like a Cinderella story. Never know.
Yeah, in our dreams with Jesus Ferreira as our striker, that's not gonna happen.
Hey,
That
man,
guy's on fraud watch 24/7.
He's a good guy, though. Like, come on.
But yeah, wrap us up, George.
I'm sure you enjoyed that re-up there. You know, we'll see y'all next time. Maybe before Friday, but for sure every Friday we're gonna come at you with a nice episode. It's been nice talking to y'all. See y'all later. Let us know in the comments if you what y'all want to hear. Less UFC, more Dallas, more maybe European football.
Yeah, let us know if y'all are open to like a maybe a Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday kind of European football kind of situation there. Because you know we're big into every sport. I don't know this is a DFW podcast. We're gonna definitely keep Fridays mainly for DFW. So if Tuesday or Wednesday or Monday, we might do European soccer, stuff like that.
Next Friday, whenever we do another podcast, the Tottenham Hotspurs against Chelsea, we have to watch that, especially with us.
Oh yeah,
gonna have
that'll
to-
be if we
we're gonna
make
have to
that
talk
if we
about
make that
that.
new podcast. We'll talk about that.
Well, here in this little podcast group, we have two sides. It's either Chelsea or Tottenham Hotspur.
Mm-hmm.
Tottenham's winning. I'm gonna just say that real quick. I
Okay.
think it's gonna be 2-1.
Okay. Keep
Yeah.
it for
could
keep
go on
it
this
for the
forever.
next
Yeah,
episode.
yeah. This is gonna be another hour-long session talking about
this
this.
is too long. This is gonna be probably our longest episode of the year, just because we had to wrap up the Rangers and then talk about every other sports team in DFW. But now that the Rangers are done with, the episodes would definitely be a little shorter.
Yeah, but it's been nice. See y'all next Friday for your next re-up. Ciao. Go Rangers.
Adios.